rolling now, and we'll start the timer. So, another
Trying to-
episode. What's up?
Trying to remember what we were doing in mystery. That's a great way to start this out.
I mean, that was said right before he hit record, but even still, it's like, of all the lines.
Is this
No, I
even
know,
the-
but that's too good of a line not to have it start out like
I'm
this.
now wondering, is this even the same mystery boner? This seems like a different
Oh my god.
I realized what I said right when I said it, but now I'm wondering if there's another mystery boner I need to be on the lookout for.
Oh, good Christ almighty.
I don't think this is the same mystery boner we all know and love.
Didn't you lose the first one?
I think we did.
Oh, we lost the mystery boner?
I think the
I
mystery
think we
boner
lost
was
the
lost
first
when I
one,
lost my
didn't
last
we?
computer. Yeah, with my last
Are you
computer.
Wait, are you sure you didn't just tuck it away somewhere?
No, I searched everywhere high and definitely low.
I need more vodka.
I was hoping I could just pull out my pants, but it's not there. I mean, we'll deal with this boner then.
Okay, enough. There's not enough alcohol in my house for me to cope with this shit.
Welcome back. YouTube love us. They're totally not going to de-age us at all.
No, they're not, because no one watches this.
I know. Don't worry, these will never age poorly, nor will we ever be ashamed.
So
You know, there is a reason we don't use our real names.
yeah.
What are you talking about? Archimage is completely real name.
You know, by today's standards, yes it is.
My full name, sir, is Archimage Band. This is not made up the third. A completely real name. Do you doubt?
Yes, I'm pressing X immensely.
Like Shadow R. Fox. What is your last name again? Your completely real last name?
Yeah, we said it. It's Fox.
Oh, gotcha. So it's Shadow and then R is your middle name.
Yep.
Got it.
All he did for his screen name was just remove the dots.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah. Remove the space and remove the dots.
That's all he did.
For some reason, I completely buy that.
So I can't. Oh yeah, degenerate discussion, what we call these podcasts, and
Oh, yeah.
been so long since we done one, we forgot the name.
It's been a while. Degenerate discussions, right? And God, I don't even know how we started these. We just started with a topic and then started going.
Well, I figured with this topic, it would be about what I just talked about, which would be decelerated electronic. What was it?
Generators.
GEDs. They're called
Okay.
GEDs for short, but it was Generate Electronic Decelerator, I believe, was in the.
Yeah.
I thought GED was what you did for your high school equivalent.
Oh well, this is so much worse and darker because I just learned about it. I never knew about this stuff. So
Yeah.
apparently, it's mainly done in the Rock Center Academy I show you up north by New York. It was supposed to have been made illegal in 2020, but remember 2020 is right around the time COVID hit. So they kind of had the FDA outlawed it, but then because COVID hit, they really couldn't enforce it. And let me explain why. So the way this works is they strap an apparatus to a child, and they shock the child when they misbehave. This is essentially supposed to be for children with behavioral disorders. And we're talking not just minor behavioral disorder, we're talking the severe one, where they can't even be in a social environment by how they misbehave.
Gotcha.
And surprisingly enough, the shock treatment sounds so horrible to the point that it literally should be a crime, just because of the children often do speak at how, like, it's very obvious when you see these children, they are traumatized by the shock treatment they're receiving.
Oh, Really, electrocuting children traumatizes them. I never would have guessed that.
I know it sounds, like, of course that would be traumatizing. Just the stories I hear of, like, if they go to the bathroom without asking, they get shocked. If they cannot stay still for an X amount of time, they get shocked. If they go to the bathroom on themselves after being refused the bathroom, they get shocked. If they cry out while they're being shocked, they get shocked. If they try to remove the apparatus, they get shocked.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a sci-fi story about this.
Well, the problem is this is actually legit, and this is going on. And here's the killing part. The government want to get rid of this. Guess who's the strongest advocate for keeping this? Even the teachers who have to enforce this want to get rid of this. Guess who's the strongest advocate for keeping this?
The parents?
Yes.
Yep. Nope, doesn't surprise me.
So, and now, as much as I would love to say bad parents, the stories I hear from the parent side of the thing are also just as bad. Before this center came around with the electric shock therapy, the stories of these parents would be like, I'm literally drugging my child so much that they are literally sleeping through their entire life. My child is a danger to themselves, to the point that if I don't keep constant eye on them, they will hurt and kill themselves. So I can't say the parents are just bad parents, because it sounds like they're in a unbelievably unwinnable situation with a child with such extreme behavioral problems that they can either drug them to the point that they will be just numb.
A vegetable.
Yeah, a vegetable through their whole life, or they can not numb them, but then have to dedicate all of their time to watching the child, knowing that the second they take even an eye off the child, they could possibly harm themselves or someone else.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I can't say the parents are bad. Maybe some are, but I can't say all of them.
No, I wouldn't say all of them.
Because it sounds like a truly horrible situation to be in as a parent.
No, either way, it's awful, but, like, I still question what, like, going to a point where you're actually willing to electrocute your child. But, to be fair, how bad, this isn't a good, like, selling point, but how bad are the electric shocks?
Now, unfortunately, I can't look it up, because I'm in this game. So, if you want to pull up and type in GED shock levels, I'm sure you'll find it very quickly on the Wikipedia page at how strong the voltage is.
Hold on.
I know it's enough.
I'm looking.
I know it's enough.
Okay, hang on. There's three versions of GED are known to have been used. 1, 3A, and 4. 1 is the least powerful. 4 is the most.
And I know for some
one
of them,
produces a shock of 30 milliamps lasting 2 seconds. 4 produces 90 milliamps lasting 2 seconds. For comparison, a cattle prod produces a shock for not more than 10 milliamps lasting a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
so that's pretty strong for a child.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but, okay, going off what you said, if these kids have such severe behavioral problems, that does mean that they're not going to stop immediately with one quick shot. Because, cattle, first shot, they're moving, but kids with this severe behavioral disorders would kind of need a little more prompting.
Now, here's the thing I hate to say, but it does work in the sense of, yes, it shocks them, but the fear of being shocked does make them, it does correct their behavior. Because nobody want to be shocked. And that sounds like almost an extreme level of shocking someone.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically, it's the same, it's just basic punishment. You don't want punishment, so your behavior changes.
And before that, this institution, the guy who came up with this, he honestly wasn't trying to be a monster. He honestly was hoping for a utopia where these kids would get better from this shock treatment.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the guy who invented lobotomy think he was making.
Yeah, I know. The road to
Yeah.
hell is paved with the best of intention.
Well, to be fair, the road to hell is paved with self-righteousness.
Exactly, but what I'm getting at is no one here is, from what I gather and from what I've heard about this whole situation, no one here was just outlandishly trying to be a mustache twirling bad guy.
No, I figured.
But that being said, with Zed saying the level of shock that these kids are getting, let it be known that some of these cases, if you go to the Wikipedia page, you'll see a child drawing of them being strapped to the bed being given these shock treatments, because it's not only just the apparatus that's shocking them. If they misbehave to a point, they can be strapped to a bed and given just straight shock therapy.
Yeah.
And there is cases where several of the children have been shocked so badly they have been given burns and they have been hospitalized behind this.
I believe that.
And again, the government at one time did actually, the FDA actually did around 2020 outlaw it. But the problem was COVID took place, and the argument by the institution was, look, if we're trying to implement this without shocking, there's no way we're going to be able to get these kids to behave, because we're going to be limited staff because of COVID. And now you're taking away our one instrument to making them behave. So they had to keep allowing it. So currently it's in a very almost strange situation where it is technically outlawed, but they're trying to argue they need to keep some of it, but the FDA arguing, no, you get rid of all of it, because letting you keep some of it is just undermining everything.
Yeah, I could understand that.
So it's in kind of a loosey-goosey type area where it should technically be outlawed, but they're still using it.
Problem is, I don't really know what you think about this. Like, I don't know a better solution. That's the problem I'm having.
Neither do I. No, I don't know a better solution, but still, shock therapy is.
No, I'm
not one for doing this, but I knew if I misbehaved, if I was around my dad, there was one thing: a belt.
And see, Zed, they used to do that. They were hoping that the shock therapy would be an alternative to actually just beating the children.
See, I don't condone beating children, but there is a key difference between a child misbehaving and you giving them the slight punishment of a spanking. I don't think you should use a belt. But
see, the problem is they actually felt that the belt and things like that, or the physical punishment that they were given to the kids before the shock therapy was far worse than the actual shock therapy.
Okay, you see, no, I'm honestly gonna call BS. I've heard that before. You know, I was spanked. I didn't turn out that bad. Like,
but here's the thing: these are kids with extreme.
No, yeah, I get
so
what you're saying.
One spanking is never going to do it, and
No,
it's
one
definitely,
spanking's never
and
gonna
they're
do it.
definitely going to resist more to the spanking than they will to the shock therapy.
Yeah, I know, but I was talking about in general. Because people nowadays say, spanking your kid. Well, people say punishing your kids now is wrong, no matter what their behavioral things. But I disagree. Like, kids need punishment when they do bad things, when they do something wrong, or else they're never going to learn.
Yeah, no, kids
I mean,
do need punishment.
that's into it. But when you have such severe behavioral problems, it does become an issue. So you need a way to deal. If you have severe behavioral problems, you need a more severe punishment. But you also need to make sure that the severe punishment isn't practically torture.
And there's been teachers who quit because, the teachers have to be the one to administer the punishment. And some teachers, they just straight up cannot, do that to a child for a whole career.
Yeah, no, and I can understand that.
So, again, it's a damned and do if you don't situation, but...
See, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I just couldn't believe that we were doing this level of shock therapy at a school.
Yeah, my problem with the shock therapy is that it definitely will go to. You said it's gone too far at times where kids have gotten freaking burns from it.
because of the policy. Because so the guy who made the GEDs instituted a set of rules that the institution must follow, and you can look this up on the Wikipedia page. And like what I said, if they cry during the shocking, they get another shocking. If they do something out of line, they get a shocking. If they try to remove the GED, they get a shocking. And these can build up to the point that they can have multiple shockings in a day. We have cases of children being shocked 77, 78, 79 times in a given day.
Yeah. I don't like that, but I do understand where he's coming from. I can even understand where the parents are coming from, but maybe it sounds worse than it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't bring this up for us to figure out a solution. For me, it just shocked me more because I didn't even think such treatment was still being done in this day and age. I would hope we would have found a better solution than that.
No. I mean, that's the thing. It's like everybody talks about, we should be able to find a better. I've noticed the people who say that never actually have a solution.
Yeah, I don't have a solution. I wish we could find a better solution for that. I mean, drugs would be my only other thing, but, like one of the parents said, I don't want to drug my child to the point they're literally sleeping their whole life away.
Yeah, and let's face it, drugs come with side effects too. I don't care what people say.
Yes.
Every single narcotic has side effects. That's why they're narcotics. So, damn, I don't know.
It really is a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, and yeah, I mean, that's the killing part. Even if it's supposed to go away, but again, with the parents being as they are, is probably going to get overturned again.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this question. The kids who come out of this program, are they better?
I do not know. I do not know if...
That's something needs to be looked at. I mean, if they're actually better after, then I hate to say it, maybe this is so find a better solution.
I mean, they're sure shit traumatized by they're sure shit afraid of electricity by the end of this. I can guarantee that. But
well, yeah, I mean that might not be a bad thing. I mean, sucks for the career as an electrician.
Yeah, I know. There's no good solution to this one.
No, because I'm a big proponent. If you're gonna make a complaint about something, you better have a solution.
Like usually we have at least some type of ideal things to go off of, but this one, I mean, none of us are really into the whole child behavior psychology thing. But even if we was,
it's in a field I did not particularly study.
But even if we was, this we're talking extreme level of behavior. Me and Zed, we taught kids before for our previous job, and I don't think Zed, you ever taught had one-on-one with one of the kids that had I believe it was a learning/behavioral disability problem.
Actually, I think I did.
You did? Where you had to do a one-on-one session with the kid?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I didn't know if that was when you were working there or not.
Yes, no, I believe I know what you're talking about, and yes, I did.
So, and again, one-on-one, you can deal with them. It's manageable because it's just one child, and you gotta repeat things numerous times, and you gotta keep their attention, and you gotta really just get inside their head. But it's doable. It's very difficult, but it's doable. But then again, the teachers at these institutions probably have a class of like 10 of them. So, and even then, you can reinforce things multiple times, but they'll forget it very quickly if you're not careful. You almost gotta appeal to their interests and then find something that they remain interested in.
Yeah.
To make it stick. And That's a huge
because,
undertaking.
that was the thing. I don't look into this much, but I did see an interesting little video. They were showing a kid who had like pretty bad ADHD. So they were showing like stark contrast. One was where the kid was supposed to be watching a video about mathematics, and he was all over the place. He got up, he paced around, he pretend sword fight. He did a lot of things. But then they put on Star Wars, and the kid was like hyper focused on it.
Yes.
So I guess you have to find a way to reach their. This is one thing I've always thought about teaching. Face it, whether you have behavioral problems or not, teaching in America kind of sucks.
Yes, because they're underpaid, understaffed, and under.
Our school system sucks.
Yes.
Like everything about it absolutely sucks, and like we've said, we can't even recommend people going to college anymore because, we both have degrees. What good did they do? What good did they serve us in getting jobs?
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't about what we knew, it was who we knew.
Yeah, it meant absolutely nothing in the end. And then a lot of people do this, I've seen them, like, they can't do squat.
Yeah,
that's know someone, and then they
suck at their job. Yeah, no, that's the biggest situation I think I'm facing in my job right now. Is I'm working with thankfully everyone in my department actually do know what they're doing and know their job, but the other departments have no freaking clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we're literally working our job while doing their job for them. That's literally like the majority of my day is doing not only my job, but doing the other department's jobs.
Yeah. And that's the thing, and it's what the hell's the freaking point? And also, you go through and get your degree, and companies don't give a shit about your degree. No. They do not care.
Unless you're going for management level, they don't really give a shit.
Exactly. At that point, you might as well get the job first, and then when you get the management, have the company pay to send you to college. And it's better off to do that.
Don't even get me started on the whole logic of if you have a degree, you're overqualified, and they don't want to hire you for entry level. But if you don't have a degree, they don't want to hire you because they don't claim you have the work experience.
Exactly. So it's literally just lose-lose all around. So, but then you also get people who go into college and they get, frankly, useless degrees just to have a degree. So I think one of the big problems with, one thing I've always considered about education, but not looked greatly into because, well, you guys know me, I don't particularly care about education, look into it. But I have had a thought, and I really hate saying this because of the source, but I think maybe a good rule would be to follow a little bit of Kung Fu Panda 3 says. And I know, but
I actually like Kung Fu Panda, so.
No, I like Kung Fu Panda, but I'm quoting a children's show for possibly better education. So
I mean, I actually like Kung Fu Panda because I thought the way it, if you remember from the first movie, how Sifu get told to learn. He appeals to his interests. He stopped trying to teach a regimented system and teach what will appeal to the student and make them want to learn.
Yeah, no, that's my point, and especially. Looking at that, I really liked how he really said it in movie 3 when he was trying to make Poe become a teacher. Was that I don't need you to be the best version of me or be the best version of you. I need you to become the best version of yourself.
Yes.
You need to teach them to be the best versions of themselves, because that's the problem Poe had when he was training all the pandas. He was trying to teach them to be the Furious Five, essentially. What he had to do was teach them to be the best versions of themselves.
Yes.
And I think that would work better is if we taught kids to be the best version of themselves. Because, look, I'm sorry to parents out there, but not all your kids are going to be doctors. Kids are going to be engineers.
Oh, yeah. You'll be lucky if your kids are going to even want to learn about biology or math.
Exactly. But that's not a bad thing.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, but the grunt workers, the construction workers, they are the ones who built this country.
They get things done.
Yeah, and we started looking down at them at some point, and you know what? I don't know why. We shouldn't.
I don't like that.
Useful.
And one person in the argument says something that really kind of irks me. They said we should we should automate all the minimum wage jobs.
You know what? No, robots suck at that stuff. We
Well,
need
not only
people
that,
doing it.
I mean, people need to do the grunt work sometime.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, and no one should be ashamed for grunt work.
No,
Like,
it's honest day's work. I don't know where this whole policy of you gotta have a great job to be successful. I mean, look, if you're a garbage man, but you take pride in your work and you do a good job, good on you. No one should look down on you for that.
yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, garbage people. I would never look down on garbage.
That's the
work
thing.
I
Like,
want to do.
I mean, you know, they do the job nobody else want to do, but at the same time, if no one else do those jobs, we're screwed as a society.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know it's grunt work. I know it's not, but it is important. And like, honestly, it's become this very weird faction. Say, go to college, don't become an electrician. Electricians can make good money.
Yes.
I mean, and I'm sorry, but these people who do so-called grind, they're freaking useful. Like, you get a CEO, it's like, I run this major company, and then dishwasher breaks, like, well, shit, I can't do anything now. Who's he called? Oh, yeah, the grunt man who can actually do stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, nowadays, people can barely even change tire.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, my ex-girlfriend was astounded that I could change a tire. Like, she did not believe that I could change a tire because all her other boyfriends could not do it. Like, they were incapable. So, like, she was positive I could do it. She was just astounded. She was just like, you can change him. Like, yeah. Honey, my dad wouldn't even let me drive the car in blindfold.
I mean, I would be more impressed changing oil, but even that's kind of... The only hard part about changing oil is if you got something to actually lift your car up so you can get underneath it. I mean, the process of changing the oil is fairly simple. It's just messy if you don't know what you're doing the first time, from what I am understanding.
And I will say, to be fair, nowadays car engines have become like so
more complex. Yeah.
And like now they cover them all, so basically you can't get in there and fix it unless you have professional machinery. So I'll give a little leeway to that, but you should change the damn tire.
No, change tire is simple, and it's something you should learn before you ever drive a car, in my opinion.
Yeah, but back to the point is that with these kids, it might, especially with behavioral things, it might be prudent to actually teach them or get them interested in things that they're actually learning. And I think this probably goes back to the whole argument that schools are geared more towards girls than boys. Because, let's face it, a lot of times when girls are taught anything, they'll sit down, they'll just do it. But,
girls
boys
mature faster than boys, yes.
Yeah. Boys can be different. Boys want to do more physical stuff. Boys want different things. But all education's kind of geared more towards obedient girls. And boys aren't girls. I'm sorry, they never will be.
No. And now we're about to get into our trans arguments again.
I'm trying to avoid that. But regardless, is that, maybe things need to depend on the actual students, their actual interests, what they're more capable of, and how to become the best version of themselves, and not the best version of what society thinks.
How do we standardize that into a testing format so we can show how good and how smart the students are in the school? That's the argument. That's the argument.
No, I know that's the argument.
Which I think is just completely asinine.
Well, I say if you want that, well, Japan's done that, and look how high the suicide rate is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went there. I will frickin' go there. Like, yes, Japan has some high test scores, but again, look at their suicide rates.
What got me, and the part's about to end, but I'll end it on this note. The thing that got me the most with education. Someone took a picture of, if I was to show you a picture of a computer back in, let's say, 1970s, you'll see a giant computer that fills an entire room.
1970s, you might even see one that fills an entire
building. Yes. Nowadays, if I show you a computer, I can show you one so small. I can show you literally a phone, because a phone is literally the same computing power as one of those giant computers from 1960s, 1970s, in
Probably
terms of
more.
its computing powers.
Yeah, probably more so, but yes.
But
Absolutely.
if I take a picture of a classroom, you'll see a bunch of kids in a room with desk, looking at a teacher and a whiteboard. If I take a picture of a classroom now, you'll see the exact same thing. We haven't
true.
changed our education in the last half a century.
Yeah.
Literally,
Which you could say something if it worked, but it doesn't work.
exactly. I understand that if it's not broken, don't fix it. But in
But
this
that's the
case,
problem.
it's
It was
broken, and we need
broken.
to fix it.
Like, yeah, it was broken. That's the problem.
So
That-
we'll end this part here, and that'll be the perfect segue into our next segment, which is Black History and teaching it in Black History Month.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Let me end this part now.